Good morning, everyone. Okay, so still getting used to the time change a little bit. An hour, big deal. But yesterday I was definitely sleepy and needed a nap after I traded. So anyway, uh, today on watch I've got SBSW. I have entries at $19.10 and $18.41 on SBSW. You can see here it corresponds with the Fibonacci retracement that I put going from this recent all-time high. I haven't gone back to look at any previous highs. Actually, I should do that. From this recent all-time high down here into somewhat, so this would be kind of in the middle of this consolidation zone right here. Then it broke out from there and above. Let's go back real quick and look at its historic price action here on the daily. Let's see if we see any. Okay, so it's coming in. So there's another high there. All right. So let's see. It closed above its past all-time high. I'm going to mark this off real quick just so I have it as reference. There's its intraday all-time high, and its intraday, I don't have an alarm on it. I'm just going to leave it there for reference. So let's go back again and look. Its intraday all-time high is $19.77. So if it can make it past 1910 and hold, we ought to see it challenge its all-time high. And then breaking above, I'm going to put an alarm on it. Breaking above and holding above that all-time high would be bullish. All right. Next up, CCIV. CCIV, I have one level on it at $28.20. So CCIV did something like issue more stock. You can see this gigantic gap here from the close to the next day's open was a negative 38.6% gap in price. And I think that they issued more shares. I've forgotten the whole story. I wasn't holding any shares in here. I only traded it a couple of times. If we get a pullback today to 28.20, I'm a buyer for a bounce, and that's it. This stock, it just has a lot of work to do before, it's got to get up into the gap and then, make it to the bottom or make it to the top of this gap. And there's a lot going on in this little chart right here of price action. It's worth a trade. Investment, I'm not interested at all. BILI, now this is a stock that I've traded a couple of times. I did a swing trade on it from 120 to about 135 on only a couple of hundred shares. So the 10-year is pulling back here. I think the 10-year has higher to go. The 10-year is in a bit of a consolidation zone. Let me pull it forward here. Rings, large caps. So take a look at the 10-year here. This is bullish, or I should say, rates are bullish. Bonds are bearish as rates go up. I'm sure you're aware. Bond valuations go down. So inflation was recently measured at 1.7, and it would make sense to me that, and I don't have a lot of experience with with inflation rates and the 10-year rate. How they correspond, I guess I could probably chart it, but I imagine that the 10-year is going to trace the inflation rate rather closely. So inflation was recently measured at 1.7%, and so and now I'm just totally making this up. I don't know if this is true at all. Just makes sense to me that if inflation is at 1.7%, the 10-year is going to be somewhere around 1.7%. So it's on its way up. There's a little bit of a consolidation, upward consolidation kind of thing happening here in this zone. It's kind of bouncing, but I think the 10 years anticipating moving higher. So BILI will be a trade and not at all an investment. I have an entry at 115.45 and then another one all the way down at 102.41. Looking for about $1 bounce off of 115. If it can hold it, fine. Make it past its pre-market, that's fine. There might be some more support down here at 112 or so, but the next best entry that I have is 102.41. Okay, Ruby. Now, Ruby is one that was hitting the scanner yesterday, and I didn't notice it for whatever reason. My scanner didn't catch my attention. I was in other trades when this thing had a great run up from 18 to 38 yesterday. Down here, it opened. I'll just go. Opened at 1791 and then hit a high of 38.70. This candle, before it started to sell off, kind of drift away, the last green candle there, in the first 40 minutes of trading, hit 36.50 roughly. So it's on watch today for continuation. I love Fibonacci's for consolidation after a move. So if it goes up above 3020 here, if it runs up above 3020, then comes down, holds it, moves away it again, it's a trade. If it comes down to 2757, I'm looking for a bounce at that price. We'll see what it does when it opens. And then also 2494 is another spot where I'm looking for a bounce. It's just a quick trade. CANF. Now, CANF is a stock that I've played at least twice before. I haven't gone back to look at my records. This morning it pops up again. I've had a lot of trouble with CANF. I have not been able to trade CANF profitably. I think I've traded it for losses each time I've traded it. I don't remember exactly. It's on watch. Maybe it moves. You can see pre-market here. Oops. Let's go to the daily. So pre-market is at 395. And so it's kind of like at the base of this breakdown candle over here. I don't know how closely, if I'm doing something already in the morning, I'm already in a trade and CANF is really running up. I might miss this trade just because I won't be keeping a close eye on it. I've got a bad history with this stock. It's history. Past performance is no indicator of future returns, kind of thing. So it's on watch. If there's this sort of hump over here. I think this is right around one of these days and here's where I tried to trade it. When it ran up from 314. I guess it went from 318 roughly to 506. I may have tried to trade it in here on this day. I don't know, but it's just let's see what the news is. I think they're doing a merger. CanF signs. Let me make it larger. CanF signs $42.7 million out licensing deal with Ewo Pharma. So Eastern Europe. So, they got some cash in their coffers now. The company, it's a small cap. Its earnings are way more negative than its revenues. I don't know. Let's see what earnings are. Let's see, 2.4 million in revenue. This is annually for 2019. Net income is negative 9.62 million. So there's a roughly negative 4 to 1, almost actually negative 5-to-1 earnings to revenues. Profit margin negative 471%. In 2018 negative 172%. In 2017 negative 803%. It's on watch. If it trades, and I'm not doing something else at the time, maybe I'll trade it. We'll see. And then next up is SSY. Now, what was the headline? Sunlink Health Systems announces $2 million expansion, capital and operating improvements at Trace Regional Hospital. All right, let's go back and take a look at what earnings look like real quick. Okay, well, that's not terrible. That's, this company is doing decent revenues here. Let's see, 53 million. 2017 it did 53 million. 2018 did 45 million. 2019 it did 45 million. And then 2020 it did 47.8 million. Profit margins negative 2.38%, negative 8.53%, negative 3.27%. Negative 8.59%. So that's not quite, those numbers aren't the same nightmare that CANF are. So SSY, if they're growing, you could have a growth story there. I'm more biased toward, in comparison to CANF, I would be more interested in SSY than CANF. That doesn't mean anything, though. That's like a bias. So if I see it popping up and it's breaking past its pre-market high here, let's make it larger so it's easier, then I might get interested. If it starts showing some momentum, then I might get interested in trading it. So that's the rundown for the morning. I mean, there's the broader market. So the SPY is the proxy for the S&P. As of right now, it's opening up. If it opened up right now, it would open up 0.1% higher from yesterday. But the story there really is the VIX coming down and closing below. So the VIX or I should say on Friday, broke down beneath the 22 mark here, and then yesterday it confirmed its entry into the really quite definitively confirmed the VIX is now into the gap. Whereas you can see here, so to go back historically to see where I get this 22, this is the gap in the VIX when in late February of 2020, when everything really started to fall apart in the broader market, and you can see the VIX here gapped up, and the VIX really hasn't been able to climb down back out of its elevated status since then. So the gap here is at 22, starts at 22, and then ends at 18.2. And if you go through and you look at the dailies here, there are a few instances where it gets into the gap, but then it doesn't confirm lower, and then it comes back up above the gap, and then it does it again, for some more volatility. Then here in this area, now this is so this is technically, it's a confirmation, both this combination and this combination. You've got lower lows into exploration beneath the VIX there. However, it just didn't have enough, I don't know, the sentiment wasn't bullish enough to keep the VIX, down. So, and here's another one, really kind of around 22, tried to confirm, or it did confirm, but then, just ran right back up again. Here we go. Here's another nice one. This is a nice close below. These two right here are a nice close below, and then confirmation. Here's another nice little close below and confirmation, but it just hasn't behaved. It just won't stay down. So here we are. We're coming into also, the trend is down. I've got this technical indicator here, and this is, oops. This is, a downward move here since there's been both stimulus and the Fed providing quantitative easing, dropping rates and then buying bonds to the tune of, I think it's like 80 billion a week right now or something. I mean, incredibly huge number. I think once investors get accustomed to the Fed backstopping the market, then the VIX will stay elevated. Is now the time that the VIX will, the fear will come out of the market and everyone will come out from their bunkers and start, investing? I don't know. But this is the indicator. This is one of the indicators that the possibility is developing. Of course, it could just zoop back up again, but you don't know. So I'm keeping an eye on it. So yeah, that's pretty much the market for right now. That's what I've got going on today. I'm going to come back after trading for a recap. Good luck out there, everyone, today. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit the notification bell, and I will see you at the recap. All right, everybody, good luck. Out.